After completing this section, you will be able to understand the benefits of business process framework, explain process areas, process groupings and core processes defined in business process framework, describe the structure of business process framework, explain how the business framework can be used. Business process framework is a decomposition hierarchy of the tasks that an enterprise needs to consider. Here, we see a representative process element, Process X, which might provide a specific area of capability within an enterprise, say, handling of customer orders. When analyzed, it is decided that the contained functionality, behavior, etc., associated with that process should be subdivided into 3 lower-level process elements. Decomposition decision is partly evident from the analysis of the detail captured within the process concerned, and partly as a result of design decisions, where judgment is used to make the most appropriate partitioning for the situation under consideration. Each of the decomposed processes, X1, X2 and X3, can be further decomposed. X2 is shown as decomposed into X21 and X22, and this can be continued. This hierarchical decomposition enables detail to be defined in a structured way, and also allows the business process framework to be adopted at varying levels, and/or for different processes. The level number is an indication of the degree of detail revealed at that level. The higher the number, the more detailed are the process elements described there. Business process framework provides a standard process structure, terminology, and classification scheme. It offers a foundation for enterprise-wide discipline to the development of business processes. It enables consistent end-to-end process flows to be created and enables reuse. It enables key information about a process to be captured and made available. Business process framework presents a number of benefits to the various industry players, such as communication service providers, system integrators, software vendors, infrastructure vendors, content providers, etc. Business process framework presents a number of benefits to the communication service providers, such as it facilitates the implementation of cost-effective OSS/BSS solutions through standard specifications and interfaces. It provides long-term direction for IT strategy by specifying a business process framework. It enables IT systems to support rapidly evolving integrated service offerings by offering a logical system view independent of the particular service or software provider. It reduces operational costs through tighter coupling of business processes and more automation. Business process framework presents a number of benefits to the software vendors, such as it reduces development costs by using a standard framework specification. It simplifies interoperability with other components based on a standard set of interfaces and use cases. Business process framework presents a number of benefits to the system integrators, such as it facilitates predictable, repeatable, and scalable implementation projects by using standard components. It enables a broader, multi-vendor portfolio without a steep learning curve through the use of a common set of specifications. Business Process Framework has 4 key concepts: market, product, and customer, high-level view of the market and the enterprise's offerings; service, product components developed by the enterprise; resource like application, computing, and network, consumed in the production of the service; supplier, or partner, providing products and services to the enterprise for the production of the service. Business Process Framework can be viewed as having the following 3 major process areas: strategy, infrastructure, and product, SIP, covering planning and lifecycle management; operations, covering the core of day-to-day operational management; enterprise management, covering corporate or business support management. Level 0 processes represent the highest conceptual view of the business process framework. Level 0 process view provides an overall context that differentiates strategy and life cycle processes from the operations processes in 2 large process areas, seen as the 2 major boxes in the upper part of the diagram. It also differentiates the key functional areas as horizontal layers across these process areas. The third major process area, concerned with management of the enterprise itself, is shown as a separate box in the lower part of the diagram. All the internal and external entities that interact with the enterprise are shown as ovals. Left-hand side of the process diagram related to strategy, infrastructure, and product require mainly CapEx investment, while the right-hand side related to operations has mainly OpEx investment. The operations process area contains the direct operations vertical end-to-end process groupings of fulfillment, assurance, and billing, the FAB process groupings, together with the operations support and readiness process grouping. Fulfillment process grouping is responsible for providing customers with their requested products in a timely and correct manner. Assurance process grouping is responsible for the execution of proactive and reactive maintenance activities to ensure that services provided to customers are continuously available and performing to SLA or COAS performance levels. Billing and revenue management process grouping is responsible for the collection of appropriate usage records, determining charging and billing information, production of timely and accurate bills, for providing pre-bill use information, and billing to customers, for processing their payments, and performing payment collections. Operations support and readiness process grouping is responsible for providing management, logistics and administrative support to the FAB process groupings, and for ensuring operational readiness in the fulfillment, assurance, and billing areas. In the operation process area of the business process framework, there are 4 operations functional process groupings that support the vertical operations processes and also the management of operations to support customer, service, resource, and supplier partner interactions. Customer Relationship Management (CRM) process grouping considers the fundamental knowledge of customers' needs and includes all functionalities necessary for the acquisition, enhancement, and retention of a relationship with a customer. Service Management and Operations (SM&O) process grouping focuses on the knowledge of services access, connectivity, content, etc., and includes all functionalities necessary for the management, operations of communications, and information services required by or proposed to customers. Resource Management and Operations, RM&O, process grouping, maintains knowledge of resources, application, computing and network infrastructures, and is responsible for managing all these resources, for example networks, IT systems, servers, routers, etc., utilized to deliver and support services required by or proposed customers. Supplier-Partner Relationship Management, SPRM, process grouping, supports the core operational processes, both the customer instance processes of fulfillment, assurance, billing, and the functional operations processes. Strategy, Infrastructure and Product, also called SIP, has a similar structure to operation, with corresponding vertical and horizontal level 1 processes. In the verticals, strategy and commit covers the processes involved in forming and deciding company strategy, and gaining commitment from the business for this. Infrastructure Lifecycle Management covers control of the infrastructures, used not only in the business, the most obvious network, but also an IT infrastructure, and even in the human resources of the company. Product Lifecycle Management covers the products. Corresponding to the operations horizontal functional process, there are 4 horizontal functional process groupings in the strategy, infrastructure and product process area also. These support the SIP vertical end-to-end processes described above, and the management of operations to support marketing and offer, service, resource and supply chain interactions. Enterprise Management Process Area includes those processes that manage enterprise-wide activities and needs, or have application within the enterprise as a whole. They encompass all business management processes that occur throughout the enterprise, including processes for project management, performance assessments, cost assessments, etc. It also includes the process areas that are necessary to support the whole of the enterprise, including processes for financial management, legal management, regulatory management, process, cost, and quality management, etc. These process areas are responsible for setting corporate policies, strategies and directions, and for providing guidelines and targets for the whole of the business, including strategy development and planning, for areas such as enterprise architecture, that are integral to the direction and development of the business. Many process groupings within enterprise management will contain elements that relate to both policy setting and support of the enterprise. For example, human resources management is concerned with both strategy and direction, as well as supporting the management of human resources throughout the enterprise. In summary, the business process framework has 7 vertical process groupings that are the end-to-end processes that are required to support customers and to manage the business. The framework also includes views of functionality as they span horizontally across an enterprise's internal organizations. The business process framework model graphically illustrates the business processes required for operating service provider enterprises. Each of these end-to-end process groupings have different business time cycles. That is, as you move from right to left, generally the time cycle becomes longer. For example, strategies change less often than infrastructures, which change less often than products, which change less often than operations support processes, which change less often than customer fulfillment, assurance, or billing requests. The business time cycles in strategic, infrastructure and product, SIP, are quite different to those of the operations processes. There are distinct business time cycles, because SIP processes do not directly support the customer, and are intrinsically different from the operations processes, which deal directly with operational aspects of the system. The figure shows operation process with level 2 processes. A level 2 process is part of a vertical, and also a horizontal level 1 process. Hence, level 2 processes can be reached in the process hierarchy by either path, to reflect the different interests and concerns of users. However, whichever path is used, there is a single, common set of level 2 processes. In some cases, a level 2 process is stretched across several vertical level 1s, for example resource data collection, analysis and control in RM&O. This is because the process concerned is needed in several vertical level 1s, for example for resource data collection, analysis, and control. The data collected from the network, say, can represent usage data for billing and revenue management, but can also support fault handling or performance assessment and assurance. The figure shows level 2 processes for strategy, infrastructure, and product, SIP, processes. As with operation, a level 2 process is part of a vertical, and also a horizontal level 1 process. But note that all SIP processes fit this pattern, and there are no exceptions as in operations. Level 2 processes for enterprise management has different view. This is a typical hierarchy diagram as provided from process analysis and modeling tools used for the business process framework. The top box is M itself, level 0. The next horizontal row shows the level 1 processes in M, and the columns below each level 1 box shows level 2 processes within that level 1 process. This hierarchical decomposition enables detail to be defined in a structured way, and also allows the business process framework to be adopted at varying levels, and/or for different processes. The level number is an indication of the degree of detail revealed at that level. The higher the number, the more detailed are the process elements described there. Level 0 represents process areas. Level 1 represents process groupings. Level 2 represents core processes. Level 3 represents activities or tasks. Level 4 represents tasks or steps, depending on granularity. Each process has following attributes: process name, process identifier, process context, brief description, extended description. Now we have seen that business process framework provides a structure of hierarchical process elements that span the whole of the enterprise. Process flows are not constrained to bridge across the entire enterprise. They can have any scope that is considered meaningful and helpful to analyze, but typically such process flows involve a broad area of the enterprise processes, and thus if the business process framework process flows examine how some or all of the processes support some larger, end-to-end, or through process view across the enterprise. Thus, process flows examine some specific scenario in which the processes achieve an overall business purpose. Business Process Framework provides a task checklist. It helps to identify how an organization actually works in terms of process flows. This provides a foundation for applying enterprise-wide discipline to the development of business processes. The framework helps to map organizations to the standard, and then to identify tasks, gaps, and overlaps. The framework helps to improve the way things are done. It enables creation of consistent and high-quality end-to-end process flows, with opportunities for cost and performance improvement, and for reuse of existing processes and systems. For a greenfield operator, or for new implementation, business process helps to scope projects. It highlights the life cycle of service provider enterprise from a business process perspective. The framework makes available a standard structure, terminology, and classification scheme for describing business processes and their constituent building blocks, thus providing a uniform way of recording processes. The framework helps to map organizations to the standard, and then to identify tasks, gaps, and overlaps. It supplies a foundation for applying enterprise-wide discipline to the development of business processes. The framework provides a basis for understanding and managing portfolios of IT applications in terms of business process requirements. This helps to improve efficiency. The framework enables creation of consistent and high-quality end-to-end process flows, with opportunities for cost and performance improvement, and for reuse of existing processes and systems. The framework use across the industry will increase the likelihood that off-the-shelf applications will be readily integrated into the enterprise at a lower cost than custom-built applications, thus reducing the overall operational costs. The framework allows use to well-proven methodology and processes, and thus helps in improving overall customer experience. This completes the module. Click Next Topic from navigation menu.